Creative Problem Solving and Decision-Making Skills Action Plan by Amanda Garcia for Social Science Course 110 through June 5th, 2017. While working in groups, I have encountered different styles of conflict. Pseudo-conflict occurs when members have a miscommunication or misunderstand each other. I recently had a conflict with a team member because I felt I wasn't made aware of a change of location and time for a meeting. At the time, I was upset because I worked very hard to be prepared and punctual for the meeting and ended up being 40 minutes late. I missed material that I wouldn't be able to make up. I was also concerned about how this was going to look to the other members. I didn't want them or the leader to think it was a reflection of my commitment. Initially, the other member was trying to avoid the conflict, but the next day I was able to talk with them. We realized that we had a miscommunication about the time and place of our last meeting. After taking this course, I now understand how I could have used my listening and communication skills better. The communication environment for our group wasn't productive. With all the forms of communication available, we need to utilize some of these resources going forward. Trying to communicate in a loud and hectic hallway between classes isn't going to provide any of us with what we need to give or receive information. By using social media, emails, or group texting, we will be able to make sure we all understand when and where we are to meet. I also felt that I was the minority to the group, being the only new member. I was able to compromise that I will introduce new members information going forward. I'm glad I was able to learn something from the pseudo-conflict and understand how to prevent it in the future. I have also had a simple conflict while working in a group. A simple conflict is when the members disagree about an issue. It can be a task conflict, a disagreement about what to accomplish, or a process conflict is when a group disagrees about how to accomplish it. I have had to deal with both of these. As a manager, I have had disagreements with the other managers about why we weren't meeting our monthly goals. Having a task conflict while we were determining what we needed to do, we learned there needed to be more profit to have a better bottom line. While we each had valid points, we need to evaluate the information to see where we were losing money. Running the numbers and percentages, we were able to work through our process conflict of how to better meet our company goals. Although this is a simple conflict, there may have also been some ego conflict. Ego conflict is when the members become defensive because they think they are being personally attacked. As discussed by McCarthy about constructive conflict, it is important to have trust along with skillful and shared communication. Having these qualities will help prevent conflicts and keep members from becoming ego defensive. The way to prevent conflict is to have group cohesion. Beebe and Masterson in 2015 described group cohesion as the degree of attraction members feel toward one another and toward the group. Some important cohesion strategies are group composition. This is affected by how the team is put together. It is important to have each member in a spot that is the best for them and the team. Group cohesion is also impacted by individual benefits derived from the group. It can be benefits of affiliation, power, affection, and prestige. If a member feels they receive these individual benefits, they are more likely to commit and support the team in their best interest. Task effectiveness also plays a role in group cohesion. This is the team's commitment to the task or goal. Having a common goal and achieving it will bring a group together. Although these strategies will help a group come together, good communication is necessary for a group to be cohesive. Communication is used to make sure that individual needs are met and that tasks are being accomplished. It is used to determine which role members have and how they decide on a goal, along with similarities and differences. It is also used to work through conflict and conveying affection. Good and effective communication is the base for group cohesion to build on. Communication is also important when making group decisions. It is important to have a good decision-making style. When working in a group, I make decisions by consensus. This is when team members work together to find a solution that everyone agrees on. This style does help ensure that each member is satisfied with the outcome and will contribute to team member participation. Although it does take time and communication skills, it can promote group cohesion and be a successful way to make group decisions. Even though groups want to make a decision by consensus, it isn't always possible. If a group has a simple task conflict about what they are trying to accomplish, I have also used decision by an expert as a style of decision making. The decision by an expert is when the group defers to a member with the most experience or knowledge on the subject to make a decision. This style can be useful since the group will know they have the support of a knowledgeable source. Although the expert could be wrong, it could also make the other members not feel like they are part of the process, dissipating cohesion. There are other methods to decision making, but these are the techniques I use. Along with having a good decision making style, it is also important to have good problem solving skills. When dealing with a problem, I plan on using the 5 specific strategies and techniques discussed by Beebe and Masterson in 2015 in Chapter 11. I will first determine and define what the problem is. I will then analyze the problem. Next, I will generate several possible solutions, ending with selecting the best solution and then testing and implementing it. In a group problem-solving situation, I understand that it's important to have a balance between structure and interaction. Structure is having a particular agenda or specific technique to discussing the matter amongst the group. It is also important to have a natural interaction with a give-and-take conversation to stimulate that conversation. I will begin with determining and defining the problem. There are different tools to help define the problem. The is or is not analysis is a good way to ask questions to see what the problem is clearly. To use this tool, I will ask questions with a positive is approach and then with a negative is not that references the questions who, what, when, where, and symptoms. For example, who is affected by the problem or who is not affected by the problem. This technique will provide a better definition of the problem rather than the symptoms of it. There are other tools such as the journalistics questions, Pareto chart, and SWOT. Finding the problem. It is important to analyze the problem. In this stage, it is necessary to research and separate a problem into causes, effects, symptoms, and subproblems. The different tools to help with this step are the cause and effect fishbone diagram, force field analysis, and the PROMOD technique. This is a great tool for a group to use. It helps each person define their analysis of the situation and share it with everyone. It begins with individual problem analysis. This is where each person works through their different strategies and solutions, ranking each option. They will then share everything with the group in an information exchange. Next is the individual problem resolution stage. This is when each member evaluates their original rankings after listening to others' ideas. Lastly, everyone comes together for a collaborative group integration. This stage is when everyone discusses their final decisions and talks together to decide on the best solution for the team. After completing and analyzing the problem, the next step is to generate possible solutions. During this step, it is important to have lots of options and to take everyone's input. Next, it is necessary to evaluate the options and determine the best solution or combination of solutions. Using analytical questions along with analyzing the pros and cons and reviewing previous rankings will all help to find the best solution. The last step is testing and implementing the solution. This will allow the group to consider how an option will play out. Using charts or diagrams may provide a better way to connect all the possibilities of a solution. A lot from this course that I can take with me going forward. When dealing with conflicts in the future, I understand how much bad communication can contribute to pseudo-conflict. Before reacting, I will use my listening skills to know if I understand the situation accurately. I now know that in virtual teams, it is necessary to assume that someone has the best intent. It is easy to have the intent of communication confused when it's only read or can be misheard. By stopping and assessing the communication, conflicts can be prevented. I have also learned how communication is the base for group cohesion. When I am in groups in the future, I will make sure to use the communication skills I have learned to express myself clearly and to actively listen to others. Having the base of good communication with my team will allow me to bring our group together. I will also be able to enhance the group cohesion when using my decision-making skills. By using the decision by consensus, it will help make sure every member feels heard and that their opinion is respected. The decision-making choice will also get members interacting and involved in the discussion, further enhancing the group cohesion. By using the PERMOD problem-solving technique will also help members feel like they are able to express their own opinion through the ranking of solutions. This continuous process of group interaction will help everyone to feel supported and come together as a group. During this course, I have learned how decision-making, problem-solving, and group cohesion are built on good communication, and having and applying these skills will benefit me in my personal and professional life.